mean, guys definitely go because they want to pummel and they want to have a good time and bang their head, and sometimes with a girl, you know, something like that. And I mean, there's a certain power that goes with a girl that's a rock fan, and not a girl that's a rock fan just because it's their boyfriend's favorite band, or because they had nothing better to do tonight, you know, but get drugged to some rock show. You know, these girls that we see need to be there, and you know, some of them cry, some of them, you know, they're screaming every word, and there's such passion, you know, that I see, and I definitely they're definitely making a statement of independence as well by going to these shows, because it's not just something that you go with your girlfriends and, you know, have a few drinks and you know, or not, you know, if you're underage, but it's definitely a different breed of girl, you know, which is actually on our EP as well. We have a song called Daughters of Darkness, which kind of is an ode to that specific breed of chick. So. It's interesting because Rock Show was directly inspired actually by a little girl that we know in the States. She's a 13-year-old little guitar player, and she wrote me this letter. It's a beautiful letter about the first time she came to our show, and it was her first rock show, and then she, you know, got her guitar, and now, long story short, she has a little band now, and she can play Eddie Van Halen's Eruption. It's amazing what she's been able to accomplish in the past couple of years. But she wrote me this letter about how much just going to that show changed the course of her life and inspired her to carve out her own path for herself and have the confidence to do so. And I literally brought this letter into one of our writing sessions and said, we have to write this song for her, we have to write a song for her. Considering that she's the spearhead of, you know, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and it is just her. And, you know, I know that she's in the past has, you know, had to fire her entire team and rehire again, and kind of make all of those decisions solely based on how she feels. And I admire her a lot for that, actually, and for everything that she's doing. It just, I don't know, it's neat. It's like an, you know, an art student, an art student, as someone who is completely into their craft, and someone who's made it to such an extent that it's literally, it's like Madonna status, you know, or Michael Jackson status, where everybody knows her name, it doesn't matter. And one thing that I will say that I think that I strive to get to that point with myself, whereas I will be able to, you know, stand on my own, you know, and make those decisions. As of right now, I'm extremely lucky because I have 3 guys in my band that I'm able to lean on, you know, and so I can only hope that for the darling Lady Gaga's sake, that she has someone to lean on. Like, again, this is us being cheesy, silly Pennsylvanians, but there have been a lot of moments, I mean, we've been together forever, and there have been a lot of moments where we do feel like maybe it's a down moment, and you're like, well, guys, that was a good run. We're going back to playing pubs in PA. This is not going to work out, you know? And when we have those moments, we literally go out and buy a bottle of champagne, and we celebrate the bad times as well as we celebrate the good times. You know, we always make sure, in fact, I have shelves full of I end up saving the bottles. We mark it, and we sign the date, and sign all of our names, and what it was for, and why we had the celebration, whether it be good or bad. And you know, looking at all of these bottles that I have, it's like, I think it's important to celebrate those things, and to know that even, you know, stuff is hard. Even if things don't work out, you know, it's still okay. And we did a great job, and we had a great run, you know, and I think that that's part of the reason why I think that we're still here as a band, and we're still doing this, is because we recognize both, and we recognize that there are ups and there are downs, and just because it's down doesn't mean it's out, and even if it's out, it doesn't mean it's over, you know. And you know, just a lot of positivity. It's our way of turning something negative into something positive, and that particular song was kind of a last-minute song as well, and which is part of the reason why it's at the end, because we had already had the lineup for our record done and written. We're about to go into mixing, and we ended up writing this song, and everybody at the Label Freak, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is like baseball. It's like the bottom of the ninth, and it's a home run. You know, the bases are loaded. And I'm so glad that we ended up writing that last minute, and we weren't really thinking about it for the record, but it means a lot to us.